adventurers and collectors, Filmaholic here. I figured I'd try something a little different with this review and take a more candid approach as opposed to scripting this review. So we'll see how this goes, and we'll see how this goes. Alright, so today we'll be taking a look at Medicom Toys Silent Hill 3 Robbie the Rabbit. Now, Silent Hill is a franchise that I've always had on my peripheral vision, but something I've never actually played and something I would want to actually seek out. But in having that in my peripheral view, I always wanted something from that line because it was so cool. It was something that drew me into that world. So when I found out that Medicom Toys had released a Robbie the Rabbit figure, it was something that I wanted to look into and find. Now, this is a relatively rare figure, and to my surprise, when it arrived, it was something that kind of let me down, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But the box is magnificent compared to Medicom Toys' previous offers, as we'll see in a bit. The box in general showcases some fantastic photography of the figure and showcases all the fantastic details that it has. Here is what I meant in regards to the box. This is a box for the Medicom Toys Jinro figure that we'll see later on. It was pretty basic back then, and it was nice to see that they improved on their box design overall. Now, when it comes to the figure, it is in the 1/6 scale, so it's a little bit shorter than the average 12-inch figure, so I would say to the head it would be around 11 inches, but to the ears it's a full 12 inches. Now, this figure is fantastic and great in the sense that it has fantastic attention to detail in terms of materials used and some peculiar choices in regards to the flocking process that they went under. This figure, something that always drew me to this figure was the painting of the mouth. It is super freaky, and just looking at that, it is pretty much nightmare fuel, but something that I truly admire. To me, it's funny seeing that and then turning around to see this fluffy little bunny tail, but that's just the charm of Silent Hill. Something that I truly admire about this particular offering is that it's so well made and well crafted in regards to material choice and attention made to little details. Now, something I have mentioned before is the flocking process that it went under. Although I appreciate the flocking this figure has, I kind of worry that it'll rub off or degrade over time, especially in areas like the feet where the bottom of the soles are actually flocked as well. Also to mention that the figures, the actual hands that the figure comes with are also flocked even on the inside. So I worry that the included accessories will in time rub this stuff off. In terms of accessories, the figure comes with this magnificently detailed chainsaw that showcases this rustic blood on the chain blade, and something I really didn't expect out of Medicom Toys, but to my surprise it's something that's well detailed and well crafted. Also included is this lead pipe that also features a rustic blood color scheme that kind of stops at a weird point on the pipe itself, so it's really peculiar. Also included is a stand that isn't really necessarily needed because Robbie can stand on his own, but it's better to have it and not need it. Also included are extra pair of hands that are a little bit wider, so perhaps those are better for gripping the accessories. When it comes to articulation, I'm afraid to admit that you're kind of limited in terms of how you're able to articulate the figure. I mean, the base body itself is well articulated, but since Robbie is, let's say, fluffy, he is restricted in terms of how his joints move and everything like that. So you're only given a limited amount of space to move the joints itself. All in all, I kind of enjoy the figure, but it's hard for me to give a hard recommendation for those that do action figure photography or choose to pose their figures, because this appears to be more like a statuesque figure where you're kind of just to leave it in one pose and to leave it menacingly looking down at you with that creepy gaze. But in all seriousness, I would recommend picking this up if you're a die-hard Silent Hill fan, because The detail alone really sold me on this figure, but knowing that the articulation is kind of limited and the flocking is a little bit worrisome, I would still look into it if you can find it for a great price. That being said, the aftermarket prices are very high for this figure, so I would at least keep it on your radar. So thank you for watching my review of the Medicom Toys Silent Hill 3 Robbie the Rabbit. I'll leave you guys with a couple of size comparisons of the different figures from different lines, so you get a sense of scale for the figure. So until next time, friends, stay classy.